Welcome back to the graveyard, everybody. How we doing? We are here with another Session 0 Part 2 with Rydom. He's right over that way. Hi. Hey, Rydom, how we doing today?
Doing all right. How's it going?
Oh, not too bad. I'm going to turn you up just a little bit more. I think you're kind of quiet. Let me go here. Alright, go ahead and talk again. Maybe it's the music. Maybe I need to turn the music down a little bit. Where's my... There we go. Alrighty, so first off, everybody, this session 0 is going to be a little bit different than the last one. And Horseman, thank you for reminding me. I actually need to go in and take that one off of the thing because I no longer use my laptop. So I need to take the "is your laptop charged" off. But yeah, first off, Rydom, how we doing, buddy? Doing all right? Doing good?
Yeah, doing pretty good. Trying to figure out all the stuff about my characters.
Music is perfect right there. How's Rydom's audio levels? Because last time I was told that people were a little quiet. So we're figuring out your characters first. So let us...
Figuring it all.
Yeah, let's figure it all out together. So gonna go ahead and go through the way everything's gonna kind of work because it's different than your normal D&D campaign. So I'm going to have 4 different players, everybody, with 4 different characters apiece. So there's going to be 16 different characters. Which is going to be a lot to handle. However, the way that it is going to work, grab the Destiny table, yeah, right. How it's going to work is I am going to have one character is from each house is going to be in. So each player controls what's considered a house. That's what all 4 of their things are going to be in. Rydom, thanks for the host, buddy. Enjoy searching for that new plot. So every character that they have is going to play over 4 days. 4 times, so all 4 characters each day, 4 days total in game, each a week apart. Now, what is going to end up happening is round 1 is going to be a puzzle area. So they will have 4 different events in round 1, which is on day 1. Where each character will have to go through a puzzle. You okay, buddy? Yeah, you're okay.
So each character is in like all 16 or one of each 4?
All 16.
Okay.
So all 16 will compete every day.
Damn.
1 per round, if that makes sense.
And we're doing this for how long is each stream session going to be then?
Roughly 2 hours or so. 2-3 hours.
Oh, wow. Okay, I don't know how that's gonna work, but hopefully that works. 16 characters crammed into a 2-hour session.
No. Each round. So there's 4 rounds per day, right? Okay. So the way that we did it last time when I played this was you guys would do your first characters, right? So we roll a d4 to choose which character is going first in the round. So it's a random character first. All right. So what will end up happening is the first session, we're going to play that first character. The second session is going to be in game the same day, but a different round. So it's going to after the first puzzle thing is over, we go in, they clean up the arena, they reset, then you bring in your second character, which is going to be our second session. So we're only doing potentially 1 character per round. So it'll be your character, Rothus's character, Mielda's character, and whoever our 4th is will be in session 1. Then in session 2, all four of you guys move on to the second character for the same event.
And by the end of 4 sessions, we're at the end of day 1.
Correct. Yeah. That's the plan.
Yep. So, no, I got you.
Yeah. So that's the hope anyway. The second day events is actually going to be a 2v2 PvP match. So one of your characters will be paired up with one character from another house, and you will be fighting against 2 other houses that have single characters paired up together.
Interesting. Okay.
Yep. So you'll be paired up with each house once.
That's going to make how my character creation goes even more fun.
Yeah. Well, so just also remember, like, you don't fully know, you don't know which houses are going in, you don't know what others' plans do not survive the first encounter of the party. That is 100% accurate, Horseman. The third round is actually going to be a 1 person versus a monster. So I have a little table set up of like 23 different monsters that you will have to fight against. You will roll on that table, and that will decide what monster you fight.
Are these monsters in like a generalized range? Like, you know,
they're set in a CR to where you guys will be okay fighting them.
Okay. All right.
Some of them are easier, some of them are harder. Just like some of the puzzles will be easier and some of the puzzles are harder. So it's going to be luck of the draw.
Fantastic. We all know how that goes for me.
Yep.
Actually, for those who don't, you'll find out tonight.
The fourth round that we have...
You have to roll for your characters. Oh.
Hi. Hello, Lady Shielder.
They say hi.
Hey.
So,
Hi.
the fourth round is actually going to be more interesting because all 4 houses will have 1 character in, and it will be a team effort for you guys to defeat a boss monster.
Okay.
So there is potential that one of your characters will get paired up with one of the fighters that they fought in round 2, which was the 2v2 deathmatch.
Yeah. Deathmatch.
Yeah, deathmatch.
So we could potentially get paired up with somebody we killed.
Yes.
But they'd be dead. So we get paired with nobody?
You'll I'll go more into details on that later. But yes and no.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
There is, so I didn't go too much into detail with it with Rothus because he was actually in the last one that I ran. We just did not run it live because we had a couple new players. They just were not confident in their ability to run it live, things like that. We were trying to have a more laid-back, fun session. So there's that. But essentially what's going on is 4 houses have been chosen to participate in the Gladiator Arena. Okay? Each of the houses, for whatever reason, whether it is they are hired by the city that needed, somebody to participate, whether they're seeking glory or fame, seeking testing, trying to boast their status, whatever the case may be, 4 houses have been chosen to fight in the arena. And it changes on a month-to-month basis what those 4 houses are. Okay? So, they choose 4 champions, 4 people, or whether it be now what those 4 champions are in there, same thing, could vary. They could be there unwillingly. They could be there willingly seeking, to bolster their own individual status. They could be there to test out their own powers. They could be there just looking for the thrill of the fight. So, all things to kind of keep in mind. Why is your house there? Why is each individual person there? As we're creating your house and your players. Now, as you go into the rounds, there is potential for your characters to die. However, they know that they can die. What they don't know is there has been an enchantment placed on the arena, and the reason for this is because they don't feel like trying to find new gladiators every week for one particular house. So just because a character can die, there's an enchantment put on that just because they're dead, they're not actually dead. So you won't have to make like death saving throws or anything like that. When your character dies, you're just out of the competition. So you're essentially incapacitated instead of dead. If that makes sense.
You're just mostly dead.
Yeah. It's only a flesh wound. Each round, at the end of each day, each house will be ranked based on their performance. And I will go through and award gold to each house to where you can go and buy certain items, certain magic items, certain base items, kind of what you feel like, and that you'll DM me, and I will either approve or disapprove and tell you how much gold it'll cost your house. These are more gifts from the house to specific gladiators. Alright.
Okay.
So far, any questions?
No. I think a lot of it will also kind of explain itself more too as we go along.
Okay. So, what we're going to do is you are using D&D Beyond, correct?
Is that one of them? Yeah. I do not have an account with that one, actually. I can.
Okay, nope, don't worry about it. If you have, what are you using for your character sheets?
I was looking at a few different options. I did look at Character Beyond. I also was looking at Fast Character. Those are probably the two best ones that I found so far.
Okay, well, choose whichever one you want, and we can just use that.
Just seeing, looking back at the D&D Beyond and seeing how that compares together.
You're perfectly fine. Because one of the things that I'm going to have you do is with your roles and everything like that, I'm going to actually have you, if you can, screen share into the Discord call. And that way I can see your roles and see how you're creating your character and stuff like that.
Yeah. Now, you said that we'll eventually be able to level these guys up, but we're starting at level 1?
Yeah. So what we're doing is,
Right.
is I'm having you, that way I can approve the characters first, and then I'm going to tell you what you're going to do to level them up, and you're going to take them up to level 5 before we begin. So...
Okay, so this is, so this will be just to generalize the character. Eventually I'll have to import it over into Roll20, which is kind of what's nice about Fast Character, is they actually can give me a code for Roll20.
Yeah, go for it. Go ahead and do that, because I think we're going to end up using Roll20, because one of the things that I want to do is I do want to create a map so that these guys can see the arena proper and the housing quarters and things like that, because it's not just going to be all combat. There's going to be some role play where you guys are going to be in your individual housing areas because that are located underground underneath the arena. So...
Yeah, let me just looking at how this generates this. Code version versus entry sheet guide. It's an entry sheet guide, which is...
My youngest finally fell asleep next to me, so...
Well, you know, I'm probably just going to have to manually carry these over anyways, because that seems like it's going to be easier for me.
That's fine.
But we'll still use Fast Character. I like the way that it shows you stuff.
Not a problem.
So let me...
Guys, you may lose Rydom's picture here for just a second. We will try and get that fixed as fast as possible. Yep. So, okay. So let us do this. We are going to unlock Alt to there, and then to there. I'll just carry that down just a little bit so we transition over to there, and then we will do add, and then we're going to do in here watch stream, bouncing back out, there we go, and then window capture, add source, do this, add source. So this is the other fun thing, is that I have done this so many times that it takes like no time at all. And I don't know that they'll even be able to read this, so hopefully somebody in chat will tell me if they can read this or not. I'm gonna hide your browsers up at the top. Alrighty, hopefully you guys can read that, because I'll be honest, I cannot. But that is a-okay. So, alrighty, so let's see here. We got, so this is called fast character.
Yeah, so it's called fast character. Basically, you can put in some ideas if you already have some things that you want as a base, or you can just go full on random.
Okay.
I think the only downside is that my only two real choices are all sources or player's handbook only. So there might be some that pop up that you might just be like, nah. And that's fine, because we're probably going to pull these out a few times and get a few ideas before we kind of settle on a few.
That works, yeah. The like I said, the only no-go pretty much is homebrew. As long as it's in an official book, we're golden. So...
Yeah, as far as I know, they're using the official books, but I can't really say for sure. It's, uses players' handbooks, DM's guide, monster manual books, expansion rules, and other sources. So, I assume other sources are the published other sources, but I can't say for sure. So, if anything pops up you don't like, that's fine. We'll use it.
Alrighty, so we're gonna do. So you said you were thinking Fae, like a Fae household type deal?
Originally, that's what I was figuring, like some Fae noble had hired, whatever, abandoned mercenaries to do their whatevers, their biddings of sorts. But I forget if the Fae are actually, fleshed out in the lore books. So,
well, your Fae also counts towards, your elves, things like that. So, I mean, yeah? Well, elves wouldn't really be Fae, I don't think.
No. So, yeah, D&D kind of separates them out with their own race. They're close, offsprings of them, I guess you could say. A lot of elven stems from certain Fae text, but anyways, I think I can just do elves, make it easy. Some elven house that I'll eventually come up with a name for. In the meantime, let's see how this looks when it actually swaps a little bit.
Okay. Alrighty, so I just pulled it up on here so that I can look at it myself.
Maybe
Ara the Beautiful.
You still can't read any of the text.
Yeah, no, I can't. That's okay.
And I'm sharing as Discord allows me to.
Yes, elves. Yeah. So, just leave it up there. That way they have something pretty to look at, I guess. And then we'll just kind of go through it, and you can read it on your end at least.
Yeah.
So, what? So you have a couple different options, obviously, with the gladiator style arena. The houses don't know what events are coming before they choose their gladiators. They get announced about 3-4 days before the actual event takes place. Okay. That's an auto-generator site? Yeah, it is an auto-generator site. It's called Fast Character.
But we're going to have to take this search to
I actually found it online, so I'm going to actually share the link in chat just in case somebody else wishes to use it.
Yeah, if we still have a real hard time, like how does it comparatively look when I pull up D&D Beyond instead? Like,
I
does
mean,
this
on
look?
my screen is also very blurry. Like, I'm even blurry on the screen because of how my screen resolution is. I don't know whether or not, to the viewers, whether it looks any clearer or not, but it could just be my screen, could be how I have things set up.
Yeah,
So,
just
Horseman, how does that stuff look? Does it look good on? Can you read any of that stuff or anything? So you have
like
obviously you have a couple different options. You can either go through and do fighters. You could do a mixture of fighters and utility. You could do pure utility because there's all those options. So what
I don't think either one looks better.
both of y'all are pretty clear. What about the site? Can you read the site or no?
Yeah, if you're seeing it the way I can, you don't. Like you can see the large letters.
It's a little choppy for the share. Yeah, I figured it would be.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's how it goes, but that's okay.
Yep. All right. So, yeah, our first random generated character is Aura the Beautiful, a level 1 rogue, a fallen Asimar.
Fallen Asimar. Okay.
I'll be honest, I don't know what that is.
So Asimar are a humanoid race. They are typically have one aspect of them that is particularly beautiful, be it their eyes, their lips. Something about them is just beautiful. Let me look this up here so I can explain it a little bit better. So particularly the fallen Asimars are going to have, so bear within their souls the light of the heavens. They are descended from humans with a touch of power of Mount Celestia, the divine realm of many lawful good deities.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's Asimar in their own. Let me go here to the fallen part. So they get a strength score increased by 1. Starting at 3rd level, you can use an action to unleash divine energy within yourself, causing your eyes to turn into pools of darkness and 2 skeletal, ghostly, flightless wings to sprout from your back. The instant you transform other creatures within 10 feet of you that can see you must succeed on a charisma saving throw. DC 8 plus proficiency plus charisma mod, or become frightened of you until end of turn. Lasts 1 minute or until you end it as a bonus action. Once on each of your turns, you can deal extra necrotic damage to one target when you deal damage to it with an attack or spell. The extra damage is equal to level, and then you can't use it again until you finish a long rest.
All right. I was gonna say because it doesn't look like they go into a lot of those details in this.
Yeah.
Like they put the feats and the things I get for the Asimar traits, but they just kind of say like Celestial Resistance, Healing Hands, and Celestial Legacy.
Yeah. So Asimar
Asimar
themselves are from Volos. Charisma score is increased by 2. Matures the same rate as humans, but they can live up to 160 years. Same height and weight as humans. Base walking speed 30. Dark vision. Have resistance to necrotic and radiant damage. As an action, you can touch a creature and cause it to regain a number of hit points equal to your level. Can't be used again until you finish a long rest. You know the light cantrip and speak, read, and write common and celestial.
Yeah, so a bit of an interesting choice off the bat. Even more so being a rogue.
Yep, strength-based rogue is not
with its 9 in strength still, so they lowballed the strength right off the bat.
Right.
That was a dumb stat.
Well, the
Dex is only a 15.
The other thing about it, though, that you can do is
Oh, that's
you
right. We're
have-
rolling stats.
yeah,
out
you'll be rolling
yeah.
your own stats, so you get to choose what you place where.
All right.
And it'll be 4d6, drop the lowest, and you can re-roll one stat per character.
All right. So we'll definitely get those stats rolled out by the end of this. I think we're gonna focus on getting at least the 4 characters going, and then we'll see how the stats fall out.
For sure.
I'm curious though, does D&D Beyond give a more involved descriptions of your traits and stuff when they generate? Do you know?
I do not, because I have not done it. And yeah, the frighten for the free advantage, yeah, that would be chef's kiss perfect.
It does look like it goes into some good details. So let's check out Beyond. Let's check out how D&D Beyond compares.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know, because last I knew with D&D Beyond you had to buy the books. So I don't know whether or not they'll include just base player's handbook for it, or if you'll have to,
Oh, and you can only do so many characters, and then you have to
subscribe to it and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's just let's see real quick. Randomized level 1.
Oh wait, that's right. I can't do this on PC. I'm gonna make a I actually know somebody with a D&D Beyond subscription, so.
Right. So D&D Beyond generated a Dragonborn Blood Hunter called Warwunax Norixius.
Blood Hunter. That is actually an official thing now, isn't it? Because of...
Yeah, what is it? What?
Oh, no, Blood Hunter is unofficial material still, so...
Oh, okay. Alright, let's go back then.
Blood Hunter was something that Matt Mercer homebrewed, but I thought that they put it into the book. Into one of the books.
Next one down the line is a rock gnome warlock called Korug Umbodoben. I don't even. Okay. So a warlock, a gnome warlock, with 2-weapon fighting.
Okay.
What kind of warlock is this?
A broken one?
Unarmed strike. That's great.
Excuse me.
They do Mage Hand, Minor Illusion, Command, Generic Script.
And you can always go through, like, anything. So we're just using this for your base characters. You can always go in and customize them however you want, you know. They don't have to have the...
So yeah, we have an option of a gnome warlock.
What are you thinking? Any classes in particular? Like,
So, I mean, there are classes that I have yet to really play in 5e.
okay,
And I know clerics in and out. I do a good life cleric.
I'm
I don't
familiar
necessarily
with the
want.
clerics.
Like I'm more so just looking to do random things because I don't typically do the multi-classing much at all.
Okay.
And there's a lot of good combinations of things like that. So that's why I was hoping to get some ideas.
Well, I tell you what. Let's start with this. Rather than looking at specific characters, what class? Obviously, other than cleric, because I believe I just heard you say you didn't want to to mess with those too much in this because you're trying to branch out a little bit, right?
Yeah, I want this group of guys to make no sense. Like, not well planned group where you have the healer and a tank and some guy doing DPS. Like, no, this is a random makeshift group that was just a literal hired band of mercenaries. Like, going to a crowd, hey, you, and you work
Okay.
for me now. Like,
Okay, so that right there describes your house, why your house is there, and then that also tells us why your champions, your fighters, are going to be there. They are there for the money. The house is in because they need some money. They're hiring mercenaries because they're not a very big house. There you go. So now we're going through. Okay, so what's going to make good? What's going to make good mercenaries? What type of classes? What type of characters do you think are going to want money? If you think of D&D and money, what's the first class that comes to mind?
I mean, again, it goes down to the more obvious ones are the rogues and the greedy ones, right? Like,
Okay, so
the fighter who's just in it for the money, the rogue who's, again, all about the treasures.
Okay, so there's two classes right there. We can make you a rogue and we can make you a fighter. What else you got? Give me two more.
Just trying to think outside the box a bit. 'Cause those are standard classes. Everybody.
Well, that's the other thing. Like when you're coming down, you've only got 13 classes to choose from. You have barbarian, bard, cleric, druid, rogue, fighter, wizard, warlock, sorcerer, artificer, and I'm missing 3 because they probably don't matter. A ranger. Sorry, I said don't matter and ranger came up. I'm missing 2 more and I can't think of what they are off the top of my head. I got you, fan. Brother, half-elves, a blade singer, and an eldritch knight, the minotaur, luchador, rune knight, and the halfling storm sorcerer, tempest, cleric. So yes, and no, because you cannot. That was one of the other rules of it, though. You cannot use the same class more than once per character. So every character has to have a different class. So if you use the Rune Knight or the Eldritch Knight, you won't be able to use the other one. Which does help and does hurt a little bit.
Go there.
Hi, kitty.
He wants a snack. It's almost that time.
Yeah. Eldritch Knight to Hexblade Warlock. Okay.
See, I have a Hexblade guy going right now, actually, in another campaign. I could actually probably bring him over.
Yeah, just re-roll some stats and there you go.
Yeah, so currently in one of my other campaigns, I have a level 3 Hexblade Warlock that I could totally re-roll into a level 5 guy with different stats.
Okay, well, there we go. There's a start.
So yeah, one guy. We got Trevor Elwyn. Trevor Elwyn is actually a interesting half-elf. And the reason why he is an interesting elf is because he is not of typical elves. He is, I have it written down somewhere.
I actually know this character.
Yeah, so he is from a particular. His father was a particular race of elves that live in the realm of the Raven Queen. God, why am I drawing a blank on this?
Shadar Kai.
Yeah, the Shardar Kai. So the Shardar Kai are a offshoot of ancient elves that decided to enter the Raven Queen's realm to kind of go live there with her and worship her, and yeah, they just slowly over time.
Horse, that is exactly right.
What do you say?
He typed in chat the Shadar Kai as well.
Yep.
Couple minutes after I said it.
Yeah, it's been like 2 months now since we last sat down in our in-person session with this character, so that's why I'm like so fuzzy on its details right now.
Yeah,
but
no, I'm down for him if you want to re-roll his stats. I played in a little one shot with him. I was DMing that one, Rothus was DMing that one shot.
Yep. So he's a very, very bland personality type of guy. He's interesting. I like him. Yeah, we'll explore him a bit more. We'll throw him out as one.
Okay, so
that'll cover our warlock.
So you got a warlock. Okay, so now you have 3 more classes. Do you plan to multi-class with your warlock?
Not really sure yet. Mostly because the whole Hexblade thing is new for me right now.
Okay.
I gotta explore it out a bit more. But as of now, I'm gonna say no. I think I'm gonna just stick more straight down the pathway of the Hexblade.
Trevor, not the typical hero?
I wouldn't really call him a hero, so to say. He never set out with the goal or intentions of saving the world or being that hero guy. He's out for answers. He's more out for himself. Not necessarily that he won't help somebody. He's not an evil person, but he's definitely a neutral to neutral good at most.
Okay.
He's out for answers about his father that he did not really know. He more or less got dumped with his mom somewhere after they left the realm.
Daddy issues.
Or rather, his father. Yeah. His father left the realm long enough.
Shielder.
His father left the realm long enough to, knock up mom. Vanishes off somewhere, and yeah, I never knew why. She never knew why. That type of thing. So
that is another good way to put it, Horseman. He was wrangled into this mess.
He got wrangled in. Happened to be in the right place at the wrong time.
Alrighty, so there goes your Warlock. So now Warlock class is off the table. For the next 3 characters, you cannot use Warlock. So let's go into the next one. What else are you thinking? You could have the Bard looking for money, gets thrown in. You could have obviously you said you wanted to stay away from Cleric, but you could have a Cleric that's just looking for money to help his temple. There's the monks. What you thinking? Barbarians that's just looking for a fight.
So,
I see you hovering over a specific class right there. Which one you got?
Looking at Rogue right now, just the various options. What is the Soul Knife?
So that's actually one that's newer. I don't remember if that...
There's a Soul Knife and a Phantom.
Soul Knife Rogue. So subclass available. So it was introduced in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. So it is an official class as of this moment. So the Soul Knife is going to psionics with the Rogue.
Interesting. I don't have access to that book though, so I couldn't look into that more. So,
If you Google it, you'll find the info on it. Specifically at this website right here. Most assassins strike with physical weapons, and many burglars and spies use thieves' tools to infiltrate secure locations. In contrast, a soul knife strikes and infiltrates with the mind, cutting through barriers both physical and psychic. These rogues discover psionic power within themselves and channel it due to their roguish work. They find easy employment as members of thieves' guilds, though they are often mistrusted by rogues who are leery of anyone using strained mind powers to conduct their business. Most governments would also be happy to employ a soul knife as a spy. Amid the trees of the ancient forests on the material plane and in the Feywild, some wood elves walk the path of the soul knife, serving as silent, lethal guardians of their woods. In the endless war among the Gith, a Githzari is encouraged to become a soul knife when stealth is required against the Githyanki foe. As a soul knife, your psionic abilities might have haunted you since you were a child, only revealing their full potential as you experience the stress of adventure. Or you might have sought out a reclusive order of psychic adepts and spent years learning how to manifest your power.
Not gonna lie, that first one sounds terrifying. Just all of a sudden they manifest, you just fucking go crazy until finally you're like, oh shit, these are powers. Cool.
So how's that sound to you? You want to try that one out?
That's kind of funny. I'm looking through the actual stuff of it. Psionic powers starting at level 3. Giving let's see. Energy is represented by your psionic energy dice, which are each a d6. You have a number of these dice equal to twice your proficiency bonus, and they fuel various psionic powers you have, which are detailed below. Psi bolstered neck. When your non-psionic training fails you, your psionic power can help. If you fail an ability check, using a skill or tool with which you have a proficiency, you can roll one psionic energy dice and add the number to it. Whispers. Psionic whispers, or psychic whispers. You can establish telepathic communication between yourself and others. Interesting. This one actually sounded pretty cool. Psychic blades. At level 3, you can manifest your psionic power as shimmering blades of psychic energy. Whenever you take an attack action, you can manifest a psychic blade from your free hand and make the attack with that blade. This magic blade is a simple melee weapon with the finesse and throw properties. It has a normal range of 60 feet and a long range. Non-hit deals psychic damage equal to 1d6 plus the ability modifier used for the attack roll. Then the blade vanishes immediately after it hits or misses, and it leaves no mark on the target if it deals damage. Then after you attack with the blade, you can make a melee or range attack with a second psychic blade as a bonus action of the same turn, provided your other hand is free, and the damage will be reduced to 1d4 instead of 1d6.
So you could actually be a completely unarmed rogue with the psychic blades.
Yep, starting at level 3.
Yep.
And if you keep both hands free, it's like dual wielding.
Yep, pretty much.
But it doesn't say anything about like a penalty for that, though. So how would that work? Because normally when you're dual wielding, your second attack is at a reduced. Is it just reduced damage, or is it reduced accuracy?
I want to say it's reduced damage. I don't think you get your modifier on your damage for your second attack. I can't remember for sure. I'll look that up though.
But in this case, you're not technically dual wielding, because right, your first one vanishes. You use your other hand to make another one.
You're technically dual wielding though.
It's because you're using your offhand for it. And I think that's where it comes into play. It's not about the fact that you're using two weapons; it's the fact that it's in your offhand. I don't know. I mean, he could be interesting. I could certainly make something out of this. So now the question is, what do we name this person?
Well, what race do you want it to be?
there's that too. Let's see, I can actually go down here. Go to my soul knife. Level 1. A human? Psh, no, we're not making a human soul knife guy. That's just weird. A minotaur? Oh god.
Yeah, so don't add the ability modifier to the damage with 2-weapon fighting.
Okay.
So I would treat that as you're using the 2-weapon fighting feat without actually having it.
Gotcha. Okay. Wow. How do you guys feel about a psychic pirate minotaur?
What?
First mate Rydom. He is has a pirate background, and he's a minotaur.
You know what? Do you like the idea?
I think it's the most whacked out combination, so yes I do.
There you go. There's your second character. You have a Minotaur rogue, Soul Knife rogue.
Wow. And yeah, let's save this just so I can reference that later.
Oh wow.
First mate Rydom. Cool. I've never played a minotaur.
Oh man.
All right, so we got a rogue and we got a warlock.
Yes, we do. All right. So what else? So you got a rogue warlock. What else you thinking? You want to do it?
Honestly, I'm just trying to think of reasons why a druid might be there.
Well, you said that the house was in town, right? And they were picking people out of the crowd. So what would have brought the druid into the town? Something going wrong within their circle that they have to protect, and they're coming to the town for answers. The house approaches them, says, "Hey, we'll help you find the answers, but you have to help us."
So I'm unfamiliar, like I said, with playing them to know about the various circles. And man, they have a lot of different circles.
Yeah, they do. So the Circle of the Land Druids, which is going to be like your plains, your forest, your da-da-da-da-da, like an actual like domain, like land domain. Those ones, if I remember right, they revolve a lot around your spells. Your moon druids revolve around your shapeshifting. And then the fire druid is like spells as well. I think there's a Circle of the Stars, which has to deal with like prophecies and stuff.
Yeah, there's some specific this. I'm seeing that.
Do any of the druids like stick out to you like the Soul Knife one did?
Maybe. I'm gonna look at the shepherd one real quick.
Circle of the Shepherd?
Yeah, Circle of the Shepherd. I'm curious. It's from Xanathar's Guide to Everything.
Druids of the Circle of the Shepherd commune with the spirits of nature, especially the spirits of beasts and the Fae, and call to those spirits for aid. These druids recognize that all living things play a role in the natural world, yet they focus on protecting animals and Fae creatures that have difficulty defending themselves. Shepherds, as they are known, see such creatures as their charges. They ward off monsters that threaten them, rebuke hunters who kill more prey than necessary, and prevent civilization from encroaching on rare animal habitats and on sites sacred to the Fae. Many of these druids are happiest far from cities and towns, content to spend their days in the company of animals and the Fae creatures of the wilds. Members of this circle become adventurers to oppose forces that threaten their charges, or to seek knowledge and power that will help them safeguard their charges better. Wherever these druids go, the spirits of the wilderness are with them. To get speech of the woods, you gain the ability to converse with beasts and many Fae. You learn to speak, read, and write Sylvan. In addition, beasts can understand your speech, and you gain the ability to decipher their noises and motions. Most beasts lack the intelligence to convey or understand sophisticated concepts, but a friendly beast can relay what it has seen or heard in the recent past. This ability doesn't grant you any special friendship with beasts, though you can combine this ability with gifts to cover favor with them as you would any non-player character. So that's at level 2, you gain that plus your spirit totem. Starting at 2nd level, you gain the ability to call forth nature spirits and use them to influence the world around you. As a bonus action, you can magically summon an incorporeal spirit to a point you can see within 60 feet. Spirit creates an aura in a 30-foot radius around that point, counts as neither a creature nor an object, though has the spectral appearance of the creature it represents. As a bonus action, you can move the spirit up to 60 feet to a point you can see. Lasts for 1 minute. You can't use it again until after you finish any rest. Depends on the aura you summon from the options below. So you can do a bear, spirit, or a unicorn. Bear spirit grants its might and endurance. So gains temporary hit points equal to 5 plus druid level, and you get advantage on strength checks and saving throws while in the aura. Hawk, you get creature makes an attack roll against a target in Spirit's aura. You can use your reaction to grant advantage. In addition, you have advantage on wisdom checks while in the aura. And then the unicorn gains advantage on all ability checks made to detect creatures in the Spirit's aura. In addition, if you cast a spell using a spell slot, that restores hit points to any creature inside or outside the aura. Each creature of your choice in the aura also regains hit points equal to your druid level.
Okay. So maybe not that one. But let's see. Let's look at the
that
stars.
Sounds pretty cool, though.
Yeah, just not feeling that. Yeah.
So Druid of the Stars. Circle of Stars allows druids to draw on the power of starlight. These druids have tracked heavenly patterns since time immemorial, discovering secrets hidden amid the constellations. By revealing and understanding these secrets, the Circle of Stars seeks to harness the powers of the cosmos. Many druids in this circle keep records of constellations and stars' effects on the world. Some groups document these observations at megalithic sites, which serve as enigmatic libraries of lore. These repositories might take the form of stone circles, pyramids, petroglyphs, and underground temples. Any construction durable enough to protect the circle's sacred knowledge even against a great cataclysm. So you get a star map at 2nd level.
Looking at this starry form thing.
Yep.
Interesting. So the map thing, there's some things that I feel like aren't going to really apply to how this whole thing is running. Like, sorry, but I don't know. Wait, what is start? While holding these maps, you have these benefits. Getting. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I get a spell out of it. I got it.
Yeah, you get the guidance cantrip. Guiding bolt spell prepared. It counts as a druid spell for you. Doesn't count against the number of spells you have prepared, and you can cast guiding bolt without expending a spell slot. And you can do it equal number of times of your proficiency bonus. And then you can start all over when you finish a long rest.
But you got to be holding the map basically. So have it equipped.
Yeah.
So we'll take that into consideration. But the starry form at 2nd level seems like an interesting thing versus like a totem. It's essentially a totem, but it's another form you take instead.
Right.
So I like this little bit of a twist. So you gain the ability to harness Constellation's power to alter your form. As a bonus action, you can expand a use of your wild shape feature to take on a starry form rather than transforming into a beast. While in your starry form, you retain your game statistics, but your body becomes luminous. Your joints glimmer like stars, and glowing lines connect them as on a star chart. The form sheds bright light in a 10-foot radius and dim light for an additional 10 feet. Lasts for about 10 minutes. Ends early if you dismiss it, are incapacitated, die, or use this feature again. Whenever you assume your starting form, choose the following constellations glimmering on your body. Each one gives different benefits. So you get the Archer. One, you activate this form, and as a bonus action on your subsequent turns while it lasts, you can make a ranged spell attack, hurling a luminous arrow that targets one creature within 60 feet of you. On hit, the attack deals radiant damage equal to 1d8 plus Wisdom modifier. So basically, you have an attack mode. You have a healing mode for Chalice. Whenever you cast a spell using a spell slot that restores hit points to a creature, you and another creature within 30 feet gain hit points equal to 1d8 plus Wisdom modifier. So useful in a party, would not be as useful on the solo battles. Unless you can count that on yourself. Just as to a creature, right? So if you kill yourself, you're a creature. That should work.
You or another creature within 30 feet. So yeah, whenever you cast a spell slot that restores hit points to a creature, so you'd have to be healing somebody else. Because then after that, it specifically says you or another creature. So you'd have to be you'd cast like healing word, and then you would get to heal an additional 1d8 plus Wisdom modifier to you, 1d8 plus Wisdom to.
I look at this as similar to like a cleric's life roll, where it's sort of stacks because it doesn't specify that you couldn't be the creature that you're initially healing. So you heal yourself, and then you can choose to heal yourself again for that additional amount. It doesn't.
Yes, I'd have to think on that one because, like I said, with it specifically stating afterwards that you or another creature. Yeah, that would be fair. Yeah. Yeah, because you are a creature in yourself, so yeah.
Interesting on that one. So maybe, and then the dragon form. Wise dragon appears on you when you make an intelligence or wisdom check or a constitution saving throw to maintain concentrations on a spell. You can treat a roll of a 9 or lower as a 10. You automatically get a 10. Not as useful in battle all the time, unless you're doing a lot of concentration stuff, but, still neat.
Yeah.
So potential. Well, we'll put that on the list of potentials for the druids.
Myself, I will be right back, so it is just going to be Rydom and you guys. So give me just a second. Rydom, you can keep talking with chat and keep figuring out what you want to do, but I will be back in just a second. I gotta make a phone call.
No worries. So Pale, what do you know about spores? Circle of spores. I know it's a little rough to read again, but let's see. Druids of the Circle of Spores find beauty in decay. They see within mold and other fungi the ability to transform the lifeless material into abundant, albeit somewhat strange, life. These druids believe that life and death are part of a grand cycle, with one leading to the other and then back again. Death isn't the end of life, but instead a change of state that sees life shift into a new form. They have a complex relationship with the undead. They see nothing inherently wrong with the undead, which they consider to be a companion to life and death. These druids believe that the natural cycle is healthiest when each segment of it is vibrant and changing. The undead that seek to replace all life with undeath, or that try to avoid passing to final rest, violate the cycle and must be thwarted. So they're on board with necromancy, but not really. They prefer it didn't happen, from the sounds of it. Your symbiotic link to fungi and your ability to tap into the cycle of life and death grants you access to certain spells. Second level, you learn Chill Touch cantrip. third, fifth, and seventh. Third, fifth, seventh, and ninth levels, you gain access to other spells. Third would be blindness, deafness, and gentle repose. Fifth, animate dead, and gaseous form. And then 7 and 9. We get some other stuff, but we're not going to get to that point right now.
Alrighty, I am back.
So we're checking out the Circle of Spores.
Yeah. What you thinking on that one?
So it's interesting so far. I was just saying they're like on board with necromancy, but not really.
Yeah.
Like they appreciate the fine art, but it shouldn't really be a thing.
Right.
So they get some extra spells at different levels. Chill Touch at 2nd level, Blindness, Deafness, and Gentle Repose come at 3rd level. 5th level gives them Animate Dead and Gaseous Form.
Yep.
So those are some extra spells that we get to choose from, or nope, they're just granted to us.
No, they are just granted to you. So anytime you get like a circle spells, they don't count towards your total spells known, and they don't count. You just have them. Your circle grants those spells in addition to ones that you would normally get.
Interesting.
Yep.
So let's see, at 2nd level, we get Halo of Spores. You are surrounded by invisible necrotic spores that are harmless until you unleash them on a creature nearby. When a creature you can see moves into a space within 10 feet of you or starts its turn there, you can use your reaction to deal 1d4 necrotic damage to that creature unless it succeeds a Constitution saving throw against the spell. The necrotic damage increases to 1d6 at 6th level. Damn. Then again at 10th level and again at 14th. So that's neat. Mm-hmm. And also at 2nd level, gain the ability to channel magic into the spores. As an action, you can expand the use of your wild shape feature to awaken those spores rather than transforming into a beast. You gain 4 temporary hit points for each level you have in this class. And while this feat is active, you gain the following benefits. When you deal damage with the spores, you roll the damage die a 2nd time and add it to the total, so it basically doubles the spore damage. Neat. Or the potential to double the damage, depending on what you roll. And it also adds extra 1d6 necrotic damage to my melee weapon attacks if you hit a target. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
You're
yeah,
already
we
familiar with the Moon Druid.
Yep. You and my buddy have actually done stuff with those, so I'm familiar with the transforming into the animals. I think I'm going to go with the Circle of Spores. Yeah.
Alright, so now we need a race for it.
Let's see. We get. I don't want to be a dwarf.
Already been too many dwarfs. Races are not limited, by the way, so you could have the same race multiple times.
A shifter? What's a shifter?
Hang on.
Man, I didn't realize there were so many random races.
Alrighty, so shifters are sometimes called the Were-Touched, as many believe they are descendants of humans and lycanthropes. They are humanoids with bestial aspect. While they cannot fully change shape, they can temporarily enhance their animalistic features, state they call shifting. Whatever their origins, the shifters have evolved into a unique race. A shifter walks on the knife's edge between the wilds and world around them. Do they embrace their primal instincts or path of civilization? So you have the beast hide, which signifies the bear or the boar, stoic, stubborn, and thick-skinned. Long-toothed shifters typically have lupin traits and prefer to run with a pack. Swift stride are often predatory and feline, but a swift stride could also be a cunning rat who darts through the shadows. Wild hunt shifters are born from any creature that tracks its prey. So you get a dex increase of 1, dark vision, keen senses, shifting. So as a bonus action, you consume a boar bestial appearance. Transformation lasts for 1 minute until you die, or until you revert back to your normal appearance. As a bonus action, you gain temporary hit points equal to your level plus your con mod. You gain benefits that depend on your shifter subrace. Can't do so again until you finish a rest. And then you get the common, quarry, and one other language of your choice. So, Beast Hide, con increased by 2, proficiency in athletics, and when you shift, you get a d6 temporary HP and have a +1 to your AC.
Yeah.
Longtooth is strength +2, proficient with intimidation. Shifted gives you an unarmed strike as a bonus action with your fangs. You deal piercing damage equal to 1d6 plus strength. Swift stride gives you proficiency with the acrobatics, walking speed increased by 5, dex and charisma increased by 1, and when you're shifted, walking speed increases an additional 5. You can also move up to 10 feet as a reaction when an enemy ends its turn within 5 feet of you and doesn't provoke opportunity attack.
Yeah, which, looking at the one, I think the next one down, the Wild Hunt.
So you have 2 different ones. You have the Wild Hunt from Eberron Rising from the Last War, or Wayfinder's Guide to Eberron. And we're not going to use the Cliff Walker, the Razor Claw.
Yeah.
So Wild Hunt from Rising of the Last War gives you Wisdom increased by 2, Dex by 1, Survival proficiency, advantage on Wisdom checks, and no creature within 30 feet can make an attack roll with advantage against you whilst you're shifted. The other one is proficiency with Survival, Wisdom increased by 2, bonus action mark 1 creature within 10 feet. Proficiency bonus is doubled for any ability check to find the marked creature. You always know the location within 60 feet. Can't use again while it is finish or short rest, and that is bonus action that you can do that. And then while shifted, you have advantage on wisdom checks. So that one's kind of, that Wild Hunt for a Wayfinder's Guide is kind of in my opinion, compared to the others.
Yeah. The Wild Hunt from Rising from the Last War is definitely a little better in my opinion. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. I'll figure out how it's going to work out, but I'm thinking we'll go with the Wild Hunt from Eberron. If that sounds acceptable on your end.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Alright, so Kurban Mishgar.
What's your race?
Oh,
you're
he's a
doing
shifter.
The shift,
Yep.
You're doing the shifter. Okay.
Yep, he's a Wild Hunt shifter.
Alrighty. So that throws out, you are no longer to use Druid, you cannot use Warlock, and you cannot use a Rogue. So you have one more class that you want to use.
Yep, so no rogues, no druids, no warlocks. Monks in 5e. Haven't played them since
I mean, they're okay.
3.5, honestly.
They're okay.
They weren't really that great previously, to be honest. Like hit or miss.
Yeah, they're kind of hit or miss now anyway, but it works out.
Nothing even for the face. Sorry, I've never had one. They're more new. Yeah, well, expansion books. Let's see. There's a lot of fair races now too.
Say again.
Looking at all the fighter options, a lot of those now.
Fighter has a lot. Almost as many as cleric.
Yep.
So probably what we'll do here is we'll probably make this last character for you. We'll roll up some stats, kind of see where you want to go with it, and then we will probably end stream there. Let you actually, huh?
I said I know it's starting to get kind of late.
It's not just that. I'm gonna probably have to make another bottle here in a second for this little one. He's been wanting to eat every 3-4 hours, so we're coming up on 3 hours in about half an hour. But yeah, so we'll make one more character for you, roll up stats. If we can get into actual names or something like that, great. If not, then maybe we can figure out their names and get you back on at some point to actually,
Oh, we got names.
Oh, you're using the pre-generated names?
Oh yeah, we're going with them.
Okay.
That's part of the reason for this.
That's fair.
But I don't have to sit here and try to come up with names too in the process.
You also have to name your house.
Yeah, that's one I can't really figure out yet. What do you know on paladins?
They're fun. Conquest Paladin is the best paladin, but only after you get to level 8.
I'll make a level 5.
Well, you're starting at level 5.
I know. Eventually we'll get there. Maybe. He lives. What makes Conquest the best?
Fear aura.
Let's see. What's of Conquest?
Oath of Conquest calls to paladins who seek glory in battle and the subjugation of their enemies. It isn't for these paladins to establish order. They must crush their forces of chaos, sometimes called night tyrants or ironmongers. Those who swear this oath gathered into grim orders that serve gods or philosophies of war and well-ordered might. Some of these paladins go as far to consort with the powers of the 9 hells, valuing the rule of law over the balm of mercy. The Archdevil Bel, warlord of Avernus, counts many of these paladins, called Hell Knights, as his most adherent supporters. Hell Knights cover their armor with trophies taken from fallen enemies, a grim warning to any who dare oppose them, and the decrees of their lord. These knights are often most fiercely resisted by other paladins of this oath, who believe that the Hell Knights have wandered too far into darkness. Tenets of Conquest. Douse the flames of hopes. It is not enough to merely defeat an enemy in battle. Your victory must be so overwhelming that your enemies' will to fight is shattered forever. A blade can end a life. Fear can end an empire. Rule with an iron fist. Once you have conquered, tolerate no dissent. Your word is law. Those who obey it shall be favored. Those who defy it shall be punished as an example to all who might follow. Strength above all. You shall rule until a stronger one arises. Then you must grow mightier and meet the challenge, or fall to your own ruin. Sorry, it's 7th level. So starting at 7th level, you constantly emit a menacing aura while you're not incapacitated, or it extends 10 feet from you in every direction, but is not through total cover. The creature is frightened of you, its speed is reduced to 0 while in the aura, and that creature takes psychic damage equal to half your paladin level if it starts its turn there. At 18th level, the range of this aura increased to 30 feet. And you can use your channeled divinity to make anything within 30 feet of you frightened of you if they fail a wisdom saving throw.
Not gonna lie, they do sound awesome. I think I'm probably sold on the idea of it. While you were reading through the description, there were like several anime characters running through my head that were just like, wow, this sounds just like these guys.
Specifically, Escanor from Seven Deadly Sins.
Yeah. Yep.
Your darkness defeated me. Who decided that?
So I think this is going to lead to a fun character. If I can come up with the right personality.
Only if you're playing like a small character. I personally have a Oath of Conquest paladin, and he is a halfling.
Well, let's see. What do we have? Let's do a few random rolls and see what sort of characters we can get with this one. We already have Shifter, so we don't need another one. A stout halfling is the one that comes up second, with the knight background. Add retainers, guys. Wow. Stout halfling. I mean, how funny would be to have a halfling Escanor?
So,
called Weston Soursmith.
So you have a dex increase by 2. You have your lucky ability, obviously. Brave, you have advantage on saving throws against being frightened. Nimble, move through the space of any creature that is a size larger than yours. And as a stout, you get a con increase of 1, and you have advantage on saving throws against poison and resistance to poison damage.
I'll have to see what the other halfling options were. I forget off the top of my head. But,
so there's Lightfoot, which gives you a charisma increase by 1. And you can attempt to hide even when you are only obscured by a creature that is at least 1 size larger. You have the Ghostwise Halfling, which gives you a wisdom increase of 1, and speak telepathically to a creature within 30 feet of you, only understands you only if the two of you share a language, and you can speak telepathically in this way to one creature at a time. You have the Lotsuden Halfling, which gives you a wisdom increase by 1. You know the Druidcraft cantrip. 3rd level you can cast the Entangle spell once per long rest, and at 5th level you can cast Spike Growth once per long rest. And then you also have Timberwalk ability checks made to track you at disadvantage. You can move through difficult terrain made of non-magical plants and overgrowth without expending extra movement. And then you also have the Mark of Hospitality Halfling. Charisma increased by 1. Ever hospitable whenever you roll a charisma persuasion check or an ability check involving brewer's tools or cook's utensils, roll a d4 and add it to the roll. You know the Prestidigitation cantrip and can also cast Purify Food and Drink and Unseen Servant with this trait. Once you cast either spell with the trait, you can't cast the spell until you finish a long rest. Charisma spell casting modifier. And then Spells of the Mark. If you have the spellcasting or packed magic class features, the spell of Mark of Hospitality spells table are added to the spells list of your spellcasting class. So because you are a paladin, you're technically a spellcaster. So you have Goodberry, Sleep, Aid, and Calm Emotions at 2nd level. 3rd at Create, Food and Water, and Lehman's Tiny Hut. 4th, you get Aura of Purity and Mordecaiman's Private Sanctum, and then 5th, you get Hollow. And then the last one is the Mark of Healing Halfling. Wisdom increased by 1. Whenever you roll a medicine check or an ability check involving Herbalism Kit, add a d4 to the total ability check. Cast Cure Wounds. 3rd level, you can cast Lesser Restoration, but you can't cast it again until you finish a long rest. And then you if you have the Spells of the Mark, you add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 spells to it as well when you hit level 5. Cure Wounds and Healing Word at 1, Restoration and Prayer of Healing at 2, Aura of Vitality and Mass Healing Word at 3, Aura of Purity and Aura of Life at 4, and Greta Restoration at 5.
Okay. Well, probably stick with the Staff Hack thing, but we'll Either way, confident on the Paladin of Conquest, Weston Soursmith, the Halfling.
Weston Soursmith.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, hang on with me for 1 second. We have some technical difficulties as he turned his thing off without telling me.
Oh, sorry.
You're alright. Nope, you're good. Just leave it. Oh, I said leave it. Turn it back off. Turn it back off. There you go. It just moved the cameras and I just had to readjust them is all.
Yeah, sorry, I was pulling them up on a separate thing real quick, so I have their names again.
You're all good.
Now, we're doing some stat rolls. I'll work on fleshing out some personalities for these guys.
Yeah, because these are going to be some very interesting characters.
Yes, they are. They are definitely exactly what I was hoping for. A makeshift bunch of...
Well,
I'm even more so looking forward to this Minotaur rogue.
Minotaur pirate rogue.
Yes. Who's not a swashbuckler.
And then you have the Aura of Conquest Paladin, that's a halfling, which I just love. Personally, I love that. You also, the second best way to do it is to have, like, a pixie that's like that. Or something small, like really
the smallest thing you can possibly get.
Exactly.
Freaking Tinkerbell on steroids running around.
Exactly. And then you multi-class with it into Barbarian.
God.
So, funnily enough, I actually had a half-orc that I did this with, right? I made the build. It was a Barbarian that was going to multi-class into Aura of Conquest, Oath of Conquest, right? And then it was also going to have a Assassin Rogue. And the goal was to max out my dexterity as much as I could. That way I went first. And I was going to take the alert feat. Because then what I do is, as long as I go first, whatever I attack, I have advantage on, and if I hit, it's considered a critical hit with the Assassin subclass.
Yep.
So what I do is I attack first. I hit something so hard with a finesse weapon that I then turn around and go, okay, we get the normal attack plus the rage, right? Because I don't have to stealth for the sneak attack. So I attack first, bonus action rage first.
Play with it.
I hit. I then get my sneak attack damage doubled because it's a critical hit. And then I cast the highest level smite on top of it, which all the dice from that are also doubled.
God. Yeah. Like one-shot bosses.
And then I ask my DM and go, can I make an intimidation check against everything else that we are now fighting? Because I just did this much damage to this one guy in one hit. I think when we did the math, it was something north of, like, if we did max damage with a critical hit with a max level smite and sneak attack, we were dealing north of 400 damage on a single hit.
Which is outrageous to think about in any D&D setting. Like,
yeah. And then, oh, by the way, I have a second attack because it was 8 levels of Barbarian, 8 levels of Paladin, and then 4 levels of Rogue. So I could attack, move in, bonus action attack, oh, and if I can make all of them, If I make them all afraid of me as I run into battle and they're all 10 feet away from me, they can't run away if I don't kill them.
You like stories or something else very exciting?
D&D. Well, start with a pally build.
No, I started with Barbarian.
You just went Barbarian first?
Uh-huh.
Even better.
Crunk the Barbarian. Crunk the Bear Totem Barbarian who was going into Oath of Conquest Paladin.
Oh, we'll have some fun with these ones.
For sure. So let's roll up some stats. What you got?
Where am I rolling?
Wherever you want, Bob. Bub.
All right.
I just called
So
it
let's
Bob.
go to roll 20.
I trust your... I trust you to roll, so... If you want to show them on screen, you're more than welcome to. If you don't want to, you don't have to.
Trying to remember what that might actually was. There it is. Well, do you have a roll 20?
I do, actually.
I have, I think. Let me go back and try to. I can invite you to this. I just forget how. I have a test character thing in that.
I gotta remember my email, though.
You do
And password. Nope.
Invite player by link.
Got it? Alright, chat's gonna have to go away for a second. Never. My account. So, my...
Okay.
You started fucking.
Started fucking with me.
I'm creating a campaign thing real quick.
Okay. I just sent you a link to my test characters.
Oh, well, I mean, that works too.
We also have things like the very classic from New York City with some coffees go down and
Alrighty, so let me do this real quick so that chat can see.
the action of him who's always sort of making sure everything's under control.
Window capture, add source.
So
Dice.
The fact that you actually
And
colored
we're gonna add this one into this. Done.
Using the stem of the broccoli to create a net. That's really impressive and creative thinking. But something I would have done a little bit differently is how you incorporated the plot thickness.
Alrighty, I believe you can start rolling, sir.
Yeah, let me just see if this works out the way I think it's gonna.
Here.
I guess that works either way. Gives me numbers. Really terrible numbers. Jesus Christ. I was hoping it was just going to keep them separate and not give me like total of it. So it's sorry, 46, and we're subtracting the worst number and then adding it together, and that's what it is.
Wanted to create an underwater adventure to distract Andy so that the Dr. Toy could fix the robot toy. Buzz is made out of pumpkin chocolate, fondant. The sugar is made out of 100% chocolate on the outside, and inside is Delaware candies. They are made out of almonds and chocolate.
Sure. Let's clear all that crap off. Let's start. And are you ready when you are?
And the pirate ship is made of Keto's worst nightmare. It is pasta and bread. The mast is made out of French bread, and then you've got some noodles for the planks of wood on the side, and the sweet pasta for the people's horse. And then the steering wheel is the entire pizza and turkey sticks. The challenge was to distract Andy.
Hang on, I'll be right back.
I think that I could spend so much time just going through every little detail. Story-wise, when you guys said underwater, I was thinking to myself, that's a big challenge. And you guys did it. You have the bubbles going up, and it's just so creative how it's flipping from the bubbles are so flipping over. That's why you created movement. The way that you guys use the plot thickens, the pizza at the wheel, that is just so genius. I love it. Using its natural shape, but you are transforming it into something else. But I definitely think that was having a helmet, that would have just given so much more to the illusion that they are underwater.
Alrighty, I'm sorry about that. What's up now?
Just
Okay, so I got a 15, 13, 15, 15. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So roll 2 more times.
well, because don't you subtract the lowest number?
Yeah, you do. So
Yeah.
but roll
So
2 more
that's
times.
So really, it's a 13, 12, 14, 14.
Because we're going to drop the 11 as of right now, or the 10 as of right now. So roll 2 more times first. Yep. So there's an 11 and a 15. Okay. Or no, sorry, 10 and a 15. So now you can roll 1 more time. So you're going to have 1 10 for sure that you're going to have to keep. But you can trade one of the 10s out and hopefully it'll be a better roll.
So, but it's because the last one had 2, so it's a 10.
Yeah.
Like, what do you, so that's how many? That was 6 stats. So 1 more time, you said?
Yep, 1 more time. So you're going to have 10. We got a 10, 14, 14, 15. So wait.
I'm writing it.
You're writing them down? Okay, then I won't worry about it. So then that last one is going to be a 11. So that is for character number 1. And you can assign those to whatever character you want. They do not have to be in the order for what you're making. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so the 10 at the end of the count, we're going to use that.
Yep.
Okay. So, let's see. So the first number we got for the next guy, so that was all for Trevor.
Okay. Well, you don't have
That's
to apply. You don't have to apply them to Trevor.
Okay. Well, either way, we'll figure that out. I'm just kind of doing it that way, where I'm just like picking,
Yeah.
going
No.
along my line.
Yeah, you can
So-
assign those to whoever you want, though. You don't have to assign them to Trevor. So if you got one of the character ideas you like a lot more, you can give him whatever the better stats are that you roll. I was seeing if that would work because I thought there was a way to roll multiple dice.
I'm looking at the dice roller thing on the left column, but
I don't know. I can't figure it out. I don't know how this roll 20 thing works. Macros.
yeah, that's what I just use.
Okay, so that's a 12. Ooh, that's a 15. That's nice. There's a 13. 12, 15, 14. So we got a 12, 15, 13, 10. So right now the 10's going to be re-rolled. There's an 11. And an 11. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So roll it one more time. Oh, there's a 13.
Here, 10 or 13, 2 11s. We'll make do. Alright, that's those guys. See you next. We got 13. Okay. Ooh, 16. Go on. Will you stop attacking my pencil? Go away.
No, not at all.
We got a 12. And a 9. Ooh, another good one, a 15. Oh, these are all the stats coming under Rydom. We're going to have a buffed out Minotaur, guys.
There you go. So let's see what we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh.
Yeah, reroll that 8.
Yeah, we're not counting that 8. That's
What is that one? Is that
11. So that's the last one. The reroll got worse. How did it get worse? I don't fucking know. All right.
please
Have
please for the
we have
love
a guy-
of God, put that as an intelligence.
We have a guy with an 8. Fuck me. All right. Last rolls.
You know, I could be really mean. You did the reroll. You have to take the reroll.
He didn't explain it that way.
I'm not going to be that mean to you. You can definitely have the 8. Oh. That's a 12, a 9.
Okay, we got 2 12s and a 9. Fucking shit, man.
A 5. A 14. Okay.
And a 16.
Alright,
All
one
right.
reroll for the 5.
That's 5. Hell yeah.
That's a 15. Nice.
Got a 1 in front of that 5. Ugh.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, the 8 and the 9, yeah. But that's,
Is
those
that
are
all?
doable. I mean,
That all 4 of
Those-
them?
that's all 4 characters. We got some okay stats. I think we only got, yeah, we got 2 guys that have pretty decent, like, average stats across the board. And we got 2 guys with wonky numbers.
Yep.
Some highs and lows. So, yeah,
Sure.
I'll see how all that ends up fitting into these guys, but we'll get those built up before the first official session.
Sounds good to me. So, ladies and
And,
gentlemen,
So we were just taking starting equipment.
yep, just starting equipment for right now, yep. So you and I will do you and I will get together at some point off stream, do a proper, you describing the characters to me and whatnot, and then we'll do a small little role play session just to kind of get you familiar with how things are going to work in it. Like I said, we're going to do this off stream, and then the last thing that we are going to do is I'm going to decide whether or not your house is going to get a small item of some sort to give to one of your players. Okay? Now, the plan is we are going to start the actual campaign in February. Everybody, February 12th will be the first actual campaign thing. What I would like to do is, as of Monday, I have Mielda. She is our 3rd player. She is going to be doing her personal session 0 with me here on stream at 9 p.m. EST. And then the 29th, as long as Rydom is okay with it, I would actually like to get all 4 players together, answer any questions that they have, kind of introduce the 4 players together, let them kind of hear what everybody has made. Not a whole lot of detail or whatever, but we're going to probably do that on stream. Maybe take an hour, hour and a half or so, something like that. If that works for you. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll try to flush things out between this weekend and next weekend.
You don't have to 100% do it. You know, I'm not expecting it to do that. We did kind of have it was like a last minute thing that I was like, hey, I want to do this year. So we're going to try and do it. We're going to try and get it going. So with this being the first like D&D thing that we're doing of the year, first D&D thing I'm doing on stream, period. Other than the one that I did for the charity stream that I feel like I absolutely failed at and I kept forgetting to finish. So there's that.
Yeah, no, I was just looking at my schedule. So I'm working next Saturday night, and then I have the Dean. Actually, my Warlock is in the campaign next Sunday. Finally picking that one back up.
Okay.
But
awesome.
Either way, I'm off this weekend. Going to see a production of Rent tomorrow night. Actually, that's going to be fun.
Yes,
but I'll be able to flush out my characters throughout the day.
Yeah.
And then work on them more throughout the week. So yeah, I'll get this. I'll prioritize this week and get this done.
I mean, like I said, no hurry. Real life comes first. You know, don't stress it too much. If you don't get to it, we'll flush them out together, maybe a little bit or something like that. And
make it a point not to play many video games this week.
Hey, like I said, video games, I get it. They're a big release. So if you got to, man, if we've got even if we've got just something bare bones to work with, that's perfectly fine, man. I'm not stressing it for sure. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, I want to really thank Rydom for coming in tonight, making your characters live on stream. He is the second house. Oh, we have to name your house real quick.
Yes. Pick a number.
Pick a number?
Yeah.
12.
12. All right. Let's see. 1 through 10.
12, damn it.
No, you get 1 through 10 this time.
8.
8. Hagmer Mirlin.
Hagmer Mirlin. You want to go ahead and send that to me?
This is the generated house name that we got.
Alrighty. Okay,
just as random as the rest
we're gonna go House Miralyn is what it's gonna be. House Miralyn. Because we don't really need the first name, but that can be the name of the head of the household. Hagmer. Work for you?
Perfect.
And what race is Hagmer?
Elf.
Elf. So it is an elf household. Alrighty, so we have an elf household that has hired in mercenaries that are there for various reasons, which we will have at a later point in time for everybody. They have hired in a halfling, conquest paladin, a minotaur, rogue, a Shidir Kai, Hexblade warlock, and what was the shapeshifter or the shape changer?
Shape-shifting druid of spores.
Yep.
The shifter.
The shifter druid of spores. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Rydom. Rydom, everybody. Rydom,
gonna be fun.
Again, thanks for coming out, man. Thanks for hanging out. Glad we could definitely do this. Do you have, as you know from me doing this, do you have anything that you would like to promote?
No, I don't really have anything stream-wise going on these days. just mostly hanging out with you guys. So February 12th, well, no, January 29th, we'll be back. We'll do some more of this.
Yeah, just like I said, January 29th is going to be a lot quicker than what each of these individual ones will be, because it's bringing everybody in the party together. I say party, but they are each running their own party, essentially. 16 characters will be introduced, 4 players, and a quick introduction of what the arena will hold in store for them. Rydom, I do have 3 questions for you. 1, which character, as of just looking at the races and the stats, which character are you looking forward to playing the most?
I'm definitely looking forward to playing the Minotaur.
Okay.
I think he's going to be a fun character. I already got some ideas turned in my head. I had some ideas for these guys. So it's definitely it's a toss up between him and the halfling Pally at this point.
Okay.
They definitely each have some very distinct, unique ideas. Just turning in my head right now with those guys.
It's between those two. Okay. So now you have, obviously, I know you have played D&D with Rothus. Okay. I personally know this. We're in a campaign on Wednesday nights that is actually picking up this Wednesday once again. Don't forget about that. So it's me, you, your wife, and Rothus, and then my buddy Crab is a DM. Who do you think is going to be your biggest competition in the arena? Which other player?
So who else is doing this? We got
me,
Rothus.
So there's you, Mielda, Rothus, and I have to pick up a 4th because neither Potato nor Frost were going to be able to play. So I have to find a 4th quickly.
I only have played with Rothus, so I don't really know their others' play styles. Which, as much as I want to fear Rothus, I know a little more what to expect from him. So the unknown is a little bit more worrisome.
So you're gonna fear either Mielda or the other one?
Yeah, I'm not sure what sort of play styles they have, so it's hard to really judge that.
That's fair.
Rothus is going to be tough competition. Don't get me wrong. Rothus is a good player.
So then, on the other hand, who do you feel like is going to be the least amount of competition for you?
Don't realize that it's cheating.
That's a tough one because I don't even know how these characters are going to flush out. So
that is fair. So right now,
my biggest challenge is me. Me, myself, and I, guys. I'm my own worst enemy right now.
That is perfectly fair. So
I'm going into this as blindly as I get. I know nothing of the only one I'm familiar with aside from I'm familiar with my warlock. He's the only guy I'm actually familiar with. I know how to play a rogue. Played plenty of those. Never played a druid. Never played a paladin.
Alrighty. So, alrighty, guys, you guys can definitely come back. Check out Rydom. The campaign is actually going to start February 12th. We will have a group session 0, however, on the 29th, so long as everything holds up. If not, then we will end up trying to hold that on a different night before the 12th at some point. Guys, thank you again for so much for coming. We're actually going to go raid somebody that I'm supposed to be playing Among Us with tonight. They're playing a proximity and a modded version of Among Us. So we're actually going to raid into Mielda. She is celebrating getting 100 viewers on stream tonight. So we're going to go right into her, say what's up. If you guys aren't already following her, definitely drop her a follow. I know she will greatly appreciate that. She's really cool. So yeah. Once again, thank you guys. Rydom, thank you. We'll see you the 29th or the 12th, whichever one comes first.
Thanks for having me. We'll see you back at the end of the month.